Hey everybody, this is Fernando from the Rollback Motherfucking Podcast. And you know what day it is? It is Wednesday, and it is the last Wednesday of October, so we are going off with a bang. For this Wednesday, we are kicking it off with Saw 13 Ghosts. And lastly, a special podcast because I finally get to do it with two of the people I've known for the longest time. Eddie, who is another member of the Rollback. He is my underling. He is my trusty sidekick. And also our good friend, Shu. We are doing the movie Summer of 84. A small movie that came out in 2018. And it is a fucking awesome movie. Please check it out. It is pretty great. Here you go. So we just finished watching Summer of 84. And
oh, you're recording already?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Shu, what'd you think about the movie?
I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, I don't think it should be classified as a horror movie. Maybe more like a thriller.
I don't think we can legally use that.
I mean, it's my own interpretation, so
That's
whatever.
Fuck you. So, Ferny, you introduced us to this movie. How'd you find it?
I don't know, I was browsing through Voodoo's deals one day, and I think it was like on sale for like $5. So I was like, I just checked out the trailer. I thought the trailer looked good. You didn't.
Yeah, no, when you mentioned like, hey, y'all should watch this, I saw the trailer, and the trailer turned me off, actually. I don't know why, but the trailer just made me like not want to see it.
Because you have trash taste. Right, Shu, you has trash taste?
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, Shu. Shut up, Woody.
I wasn't Woody through the whole movie. I always said I was Faraday.
Faraday assholes.
Oh, man.
Fucking left me and Woody to die.
Man.
And then, so, like, yeah, I found it for like $5. I was like, fuck it, I'll give it a shot. The only person I knew in this movie, well, the only two people I knew were the kid who plays Eats.
And Mackie?
And Mackie. The kid who played Eats because he came out in the movie The Babysitter, the one on Netflix.
Was he the main character or no?
Yeah, he's the kid that they're trying to sacrifice to the devil.
Okay, that's just spoiling the plot.
Well, I mean, it's in the trailer.
I've never seen the movie.
Well, watch the trailer. It's in the trailer.
Yeah, I don't want to see it. Well, maybe. We'll see.
It's actually pretty good.
The
Babysitter.
Really?
The second one's not good. The first one, yeah, I'd recommend it.
Well, we're speaking of Netflix movie. What about Den of Thieves?
Den of Thieves isn't a Netflix movie?
Yeah, it is.
No.
No, it's sure
it came out in theaters.
Of 666 or something? Or 999?
Den of Thieves is not on Netflix.
No, it's on Netflix, but it wasn't made by
Triple
Netflix.
Frontier?
No, you dingbat. Den of Thieves. He's saying the title.
No, I thought he was mistaken, like, which one, because they're all kind of similar.
No, I said the title.
Well, motherfucker, okay, going back to Summer of 84. So relatively unknown cast. They did a pretty good job. Like,
I liked them.
The kids were pretty good.
It's funny because, like, you see these 80s movies made now, and you're just... I mean, let's be honest, we're comparing every group of kids that pops out in these movies to the Stranger Things cast.
Yeah.
Fair point or not?
Fair point. I think these kids hold their own, though.
Yeah, I like them. They had a good chemistry.
All of them.
But, like, I liked it more because it's believable. Like, especially how they act.
What's
like, bunch of teenage boys. Because teenage boys act pretty much the same in all decades.
Well, no, I feel like, though, like, the dialogue also is pretty realistic. Like, the way they, like, joke and give each other shit. Like, it feels like a bunch of friends talking.
Yeah. True.
What?
Like, how'd you feel about the group of friends?
Oh, yeah, I thought they were pretty good. And you said, when you compare to Stranger Things, yeah, I was thinking that, like, man, these guys are pretty good. Just as good as Stranger Things.
But I feel like they talk shit to each other the way we talk shit to each other.
Yeah.
Like, they're talking about each other's moms and stuff. Like, you know,
well, didn't they do that in Stranger Things too?
Did they do that? I don't remember calling.
No, that's in It. Remember
right.
the kid who plays... Well, he came out in Stranger Things, but he plays the comedian in It, and he's just constantly making mom jokes.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, like, this feels realistic. It feels like the kind of smack talk that we would do. So I like that part of it.
And I like the story, even though, like, the trailer pretty much spells it out for you.
Yeah.
Like, you pretty much know, like, from the trailer, like, this guy's the killer. But they try everything in their power to, like, throw you off the scent.
Well, let's talk about, like, the whole fucking movie. I'm like, okay, who's the killer? Is it the dad? Is it this person? Is it that person? Like,
I thought it was
seemed too
made.
obvious.
I thought it was. Oh well, yeah. Like they did that whole thing where it was like, is it too obvious that it's Mackie, or like, is it someone else?
Yeah, maybe it was the main chick Nikki's dad. Maybe like plot twist.
I thought they did pretty good, like trying to throw you like off the scent.
Yeah, I thought it was, from the beginning I thought it was Mackie, but there were times where he would bring up evidence and then everyone around them would be like, this is a very common thing, and I'm just like, well, they're right, this is pretty common.
Well, like the dirt thing, remember, like towards the
The
end,
dirt,
like, the dirt was for this beautification project.
Yeah, even threw off Faraday.
Yeah.
Faraday was like, dude, there's an explanation, like a perfectly good explanation why he has all that dirt.
Yeah.
And that main character, what was his name?
Davey,
dude. I mean, I get where he's going, but you also get where the other characters are going too, because while it does seem like fun at first, like, oh, we're gonna catch a killer, and then things start gonna get real, that's when you're just like, okay, dude, like, this ain't fun anymore.
I mean, yeah, but you gotta... I don't know. I like to think I would have committed all the way to it. Like, fuck it. Like, if we're going to figure this out, let's go all the way. Then again, that's 26-year-old Eddie talking, not like 12-year-old. I don't know
like,
how a 12-year-old would...
During the movie, you were saying a bunch of things, like how, oh man, in this situation, you have to fight or flight. You have to fight him. You're not thinking from a 14-year-old's perspective when they're being kidnapped by a guy who's a cop and he's gonna murder them.
Well, no, like, look, like, one of the situations when they were breaking in and they
like,
were
see, here he goes again.
Well, no, look, okay, when they broke in and they were going so slow. It was like, dude, just fucking, you're already committing the crime.
I have a counterpoint to that.
Go.
Okay, they're probably going slow because they knew that he was at that thing, that festival, and he was gonna be stuck there. Mm-hmm. So it's not like they have to rush and like mess something up.
They were searching too. They don't want to search quickly and miss something.
Yeah. Second point, they're scared out of their minds.
I don't know. I guess my thought process is just simply, look, if you're already committed to the crime, fucking go all the way with it and just like start opening doors and looking around.
Exactly, your thought process. Once you throw emotion and thought, like, they just collide with each other, and emotions sometimes overpowers thought process for a lot of people.
But so that was one aspect, and the other one was when, like, Mackie. So towards the end of the film, it's revealed Mackie's the killer, and he ends up, which I thought it was a cool reveal when the attic comes down. Mackie was in the attic the whole time.
So what do you think? I felt like there was two endings. They were like, we can have one or two endings. The one where they ends them on the manhunt for Mackie, and then the second ending, Mackie hid out in Davy's house and kidnapped Davy and what's his face? Woody, and then murdered Woody, and then left Davy horribly scarred.
Survivor's guilt.
What'd you think of the two endings?
I kind of wish they had stopped at the second one, just because.
Wait, the first or the second?
I kind of wish they had stopped on the first one.
The APB ending?
Because I think it would have been great for him to, like, find a note under his bed or, like, a Polaroid of him sleeping and being like, I'm going to come back for you.
I don't know. I feel like the viciousness of that second ending was way better.
But, like, I would... Maybe I'm being greedy, but I want a second part. Like,
well,
what do you think, Shu?
Because you mentioned that note. You wanted to see, like, a note that said, like, I'm going to come get you. That's what the second ending was. Just vicious.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Like, I wanted the full gang back. All four of them to, like, okay, we're going to go toe-to-toe with Mackie again. But maybe this time they're in high school.
This ain't Stranger Things, bro.
They could have done it.
I like the second one the best because, like, that's just that. What Fernando said, that's worse than death. Knowing there's a serial killer out there,
and he's fixated on you.
Well, and dude, that line is fucking terrifying to me. He delivered the best line in the whole film. He's like, every day you're gonna wonder if I'm coming for you, and one day you're gonna be right.
That was. I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, damn, this is a rough ending. And not just that, like, he sees Woody dead.
Yeah.
So he has to carry around the guilt that Woody died because of him. And then two, his other friends don't want anything to do with him. They're just like, this dude went way too far. And not only did we not catch the bad guy, the bad guy got away. We lost our friend. and now we're stuck in this town for at least the next 5 years until we're gone.
Well, okay, and we talked about it, actually. That was one of the big things was they blame him. And do you think if it was us, like, would we blame each other for each other's deaths?
If me and Shu were the ones that were like, hey, man, like, we need to stop.
And I kept pushing, you guys would blame me?
I would blame you.
It would. Look, Woody's death is Davy's fault. And the reason why is because Woody died because the killer wanted to hurt Davy.
But Davy didn't slit Woody's throat. The killer did.
No, but the thing is, if Davy would have dropped it, Woody would have been alive.
But they saved a kid.
They did save a kid.
Thing. They did the right thing.
They saved the kid, but then another one died. So then if you want to be...
Yeah, like I said earlier, if you want the praise, you have to deal with the consequences. So, yeah, you got that praise of saving that kid, but you also have to deal with the fact that your friend's dead.
Yeah, because you pissed off the serial killer.
And now, not only that, if Woody had died, everyone would have looked at this kid as a hero. But now that the killer's gone,
and
Woody's dead, everyone just looks at him like he's a cancer.
What's called? Do you think they would address it in part 2 if they ever do a part 2? Maybe summer of like 90.
I don't know if they can do a part 2. What do you think?
I think they could do a part 2. All 3 of the kids are grown up, and then you realize, like, as they grew up, the other 2 were still friends, but they were no longer friends with him.
Yeah.
And then when they're grown up, Mackie comes back, and Davy goes to his other 2 friends and says, I need help. And even though they hate him, they'll help.
Or maybe summer of 02 where Mackie goes after his son.
That's true.
Like, that's
too.
the ultimate revenge. Like, I'm not gonna hurt you. Like, I'm gonna hurt worse than you. I'm gonna hurt your son. Hurt your
and then
kids.
Nikki could be the wife. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Well, I mean, yeah, you could always do a sequel but that's where it could get wonky. Like, the only sequel I see coming out of this is where it's not as a thriller as this one, but like super. What's the word?
Campy?
Campy.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, the killer's back, and like I have to evade him or find him.
Well, like, and this goes to sequel talks a lot. Like, from Alien to Aliens, from Terminator to T2, the sequel has to do one of 2 things: go bigger or go in a different direction. And maybe him playing a defensive position, trying to protect his family, trying to get his friends back, trying to hunt down Mackie. Like, go bigger and go in a different direction.
I mean, if this went, like, into a sequel territory, I can only probably see it going if he's either a senior in high school or a freshman in college, where, like, he's in a dorm room setting. Because if you're going to change the setting, perfect place to change the setting is a dorm room. Yeah.
You're right. Well, also, would you incorporate, like, would you just give him a new group of friends and we're just going to stick with Davey, or are we going to...
No, yeah, you would have to incorporate a new friends because, I mean, his other friends don't want anything to do with him. I think it's pretty safe to say, like, his friends wouldn't talk to him after that.
Oh, maybe that movie could be the one where they confront him, they have the big talk. Like
no, this isn't an Avengers team-up moment.
Well, no, like, okay, have you guys seen Hereditary?
Yeah.
No.
I see.
You have it? Okay, Fernando, do you remember specifically the scene where they talk at the dinner table and they have that fight? Where it's like, where they confront the ugliness, like, your sister's dead because of you. She shouldn't be dead. You forced her to come with me. It's your fault, Mom. Like, they have that ugly family fight that you never see, but you always hear about. They can have that fight where, like, the friends are straight up just arguing and blaming each other.
I don't even... They could have that fight.
Because that talk needs to happen at some point.
Maybe. But how many times in high school did you change friends? They're freshmen.
Not much, honestly.
Yeah, he was a nerd.
Oh, fuck you! I was loyal, you piece of shit.
Is that what they call it nowadays?
Oh,
shoot! Kindergarten, you son of a bitch! I've been friends with you since. Well, I've known you since kindergarten. We were friends in high school.
We've been friends since kindergarten.
I don't know. I didn't like you much in middle school.
Did we even go to middle school together?
Yes, De Leon.
Oh, I forgot.
God, you son of a bitch.
Oh, man.
But no, okay. So you think if they were to do a sequel, the relationship between him and his two friends, between him with Eats and Ferdy, you'd think it's unrepairable?
I mean, in high school, you drift away from friends all the time. If anything, like if they weren't going to stay together in high school, like as friends, it just increased that rate of how fast it's going to be when they change friends. And if they made a sequel, I wouldn't see like, oh, he's coming back for all of us, because I think his biggest priority is Davy. Like, I don't think he cares about the other ones, mostly because they weren't there.
You want them to have that talk, Eddie, of that, what is it, hereditary?
Hereditary.
Yeah, I want them to
Hereditary.
have that ugly talk of like, where they like straight up just say like, it's your fucking fault, Woody's dead.
No, the best thing you can come is Davy indirectly caused the death of Woody.
Yeah.
That's the best you can, like, he didn't cause it directly, it's indirectly, because he didn't slit his throat, like you said.
Yeah.
It's not his fault, someone else killed him. Why should you blame him for what the serial killer did?
And that's my reasoning.
Yeah, but the thing is, the serial killer only killed him because of Davy found out.
But Davy didn't make the guy become a killer. Like, to me, it's like you're blaming the wrong person. Blame the murderer, not the guy that found him out.
No, you still blame the murderer. The murderer gets the punishment of jail, life in prison. But the thing is, the argument we're making is that he wouldn't have targeted Woody if it wasn't for Davy. You know, you saw in the movie how they said they were yelling at Davy, saying like, you just want him to be the killer because nothing ever happens in this neighborhood. He purposely didn't touch any teenagers in his neighborhood.
Oh yeah, that's right. He
true.
didn't go after anyone in the neighborhood.
Exactly.
Wait, what about the kid that they found alive? Wasn't he one of their neighbors?
No.
He was part of another. He was in another neighborhood.
Really?
Well, because I mean, if you watch any like serial killer documentary, they don't really go for people like in their general vicinity because they'll bring too much questions. But yeah, it's pretty much Davy's fault.
Yeah, you can make the argument saying, well, if they knew he was the killer and they didn't turn him in, you could say like, well, one of these days he would come for the kids. But then I would say no, because he only targets a certain age, and once they grow up, he would probably let them go. The second one is he doesn't kill anyone in his neighborhood.
But okay, let me ask you this though, and look at this from Davy's perspective, because I think he's how do I say this? He has my kind of problem, where it's like
Annoying.
Okay, it is a little annoying. It is a little annoying that the stupid Superman complex, where it's like he feels the need to save everybody. In this instance,
What, you have a Superman complex? I can't tell.
I'll eat a dick. No, but what I mean by that is like, sure, like what if Davy grows up? He's 16. He knows he's out of his target range. But what about all those other kids? Like, he's gonna find out like each month another kid went missing. He could have done something about it.
Well,
that's you can't live with that, man.
No, yeah, but that's where the whole thing is. If you're gonna be the hero, you have to deal with the consequences.
But I mean, isn't it fair to cut him some slack and be like, he was trying to save a life?
No, you know what you're doing, and you know the consequences. You just ignored the consequences and kept going, which is fine, because what you did ultimately saved that kid's life and
potentially other kids.
Potentially other kids, maybe not anymore because he got away. But hey, man, you knew the consequences. You knew how bad it could get, and you still went for it. Fine, that is perfectly fine, because in the end, like, people found out what was going on, and that helped people find closure. But you also got your friend killed, and that's a very big consequence that you forewent. Like, you just completely ignored.
I guess it just goes down to different perspectives, because again, I don't know if I'd blame, like, Ferny, if your actions got Shu killed, I don't know if I'd blame you. It's never happened, so I can't say for sure. But I'd like to think I wouldn't. I don't know. And I don't think I'd blame Shu if he got you killed, or vice versa.
Oh, yeah, because we've never been in this situation. But, I mean, for the most part, I look at it like, hey, man, if I told you to stop and you didn't listen to me, and it got one of our friends hurt in our group, I wouldn't forgive you. At all. Like, I don't care if you tell me sorry or anything like that. the first thing I would say is, I told you so.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't stop.
Mm-hmm.
But there is another point, like, because remember when, at the end, when he sees the wall of pictures, he's like, these aren't his family, these are his victims. And he sees the picture of himself.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was after he started pursuing him, or before.
I think it was after. I think it was probably after he found... Because remember, right after that, when he saw his... is when he saw the basement, he saw the lock and everything, he started suspecting, dude, I think this guy might be the murderer.
I don't even think it was after that. I think it was after the walkie-talkie.
After he found it?
Yeah. Oh, that was a nice little fuck you.
I didn't even notice that. You had to be the one to call it.
Yeah, because you were staring at your phone.
Oh, eat a dick.
Shu even noticed, and he was staring at his phone.
Yeah.
Andy Dalton went down with a bad injury.
Man, that was crazy.
Goddamn Cowboys. We're not talking about that horror story. Which, Shu made a good point. I don't think this is a horror. I think this is a great thriller.
But it's so weird, because there's not a real clear distinction between a thriller and a horror. Because they both have horror elements in them.
Well, I think it's the stress. Like, really. Like, this. Like, I think horror is more like, oh, God. Like,
I mean, well, Silence of the Lambs is a thriller, and it's pretty stressful. Especially that last scene where Jodie Foster's, like, in the pitch black room.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wouldn't consider Silence of the Lambs a horror.
It's a thriller.
Yeah, I would consider it a thriller.
It has horror elements.
Well, yeah, but, I mean... Okay. This movie is more Silence of the Lambs than Friday the 13th.
This movie's more thriller?
Yeah, I think...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this movie is more thriller than it is horror. This movie is more Silence of the Lambs than Friday the 13th. Or Halloween. Or...
Do you think it falls under the... Do you think... Well, Shu, do you think that it qualifies as a Halloween movie? Since Halloween's, like, horror?
I do think it would qualify as a Halloween movie, but not as a horror. More of I still think it would be under thriller.
Thriller. I can't sing. Shut the fuck up.
It's just, you know, you guys kept saying like, Eddie, you wanted him to catch, like you didn't stop no matter what. They never had any concrete proof.
Yeah.
Until they literally found a body.
You just kept pushing the button until, like, something happened, and then when something did happen... Ooh! Nice quote that I just thought of right now.
What
from Ford Brothers. Keep knocking on the devil's door, and somebody's gonna answer.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Ooh, that's a good quote. High five, Shu.
Yeah. Dude, the whole movie, they never had any concrete proof.
Yeah, it all started with Davey just like, hey man, he has a padlock in his basement.
I mean, it was perfect circumstances. I don't know. I also like to think like, fucking let's pursue it to the end.
Mind your business, man.
No, either I'm gonna know 100% that you are the killer, or 100% that you're not. I'm gonna find out one way or the other.
Yeah, like I said, they didn't know he was the killer until they literally found the body.
Also, his friends kind of fed into it. Also, on the other side, like his friends were like,
"Oh yeah,"
shit, maybe,
like at first they were like everyone.
Yeah, they were skeptical, but then when he was like, "Look, this, and this,"
oh no, I mean in the very beginning they were just like, "No, this is fun."
Yeah,
but then when it gets real, that's when you're like, "All right, dude, like, hey, like this was fun at first. It's not fun anymore." Like,
yeah, but we're already in the goddamn rabbit hole. Might as well see how far it goes.
Yeah, but again, you know how far you keep going down that rabbit hole, something's gonna happen. You better be ready to deal with those consequences.
Which his fucking family wasn't. And what we were talking, do you think he drugged the family or no?
I think so. That's the only way that you can get that kid out of there.
12, 15, this is 84. 12, 15, even adults were like inside asleep.
Yeah. I mean, I get it if you're a heavy sleeper, but let's be honest. Woody's a big boy. I don't care how strong Mackie is. You're making some noise getting that kid down the stairs.
Yeah. Which also, I think I partially kind of blame the parents also, because if Mackie's out there and you know your son just busted him as a murderer, hey, you know what? We're going to sweep the house.
I'm surprised they didn't have like a cop outside watching his house.
I'm sure they... Oh, yeah. No, they should have... Like, why didn't they have a cop outside? Fucking a cop inside. You sweep the house. You lock every door. You nail every window shut. Like...
Well, you could always chalk it up to it's the 80s. Not the part that there should have been a cop outside. I think that should have been like no brainer.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think anyone was like, oh, he could probably be hiding in the house. Like, if anything, they were probably just thinking like, this dude just got caught and he's trying to get out of the country as quick as possible.
No, dude, I would think, hey, he fucking knows my son busted him. Like, hey, you're sleeping in our room, and I'm gonna have a shotgun right next to the bed at all times.
I don't know.
I think
the dad's a little.
I think they'd be more thinking like, he just got caught. He's trying to get out of the country.
I don't know, man. That paranoia should have lived. And again, that paranoia is what allowed, to me at least, that paranoia allowed Davey to catch Mackie. That paranoia should have been like, hey, you know what? Maybe he's gonna come after me. Like, I'd be fucking.
But he was
paranoid.
riding on cloud 9. Remember, he got comfortable.
Fucking idiot. Well, also, Nikki kissed him. So he was like, hey, I'm bulletproof. All my dreams are coming true. Life is good. He had the Scarface high right before they say hello to his little friend.
That's why I liked that last ending, because I was like, not everything ends on a happy note. And this one was like the ultimate, this isn't ending on a happy note.
Reality check. Doesn't go your way.
Oh, and I Googled it, and apparently there are no plans to do a sequel.
That sucks.
Well, the director said that it's because they feel like...
All of them, or just one of them?
I don't know if it was one, but the quote was, the director stated, they went to, the individual who posted it went to a Q&A after a screening, and they asked, what about the possibility of a sequel? And the director or directors stated that they don't plan on it because it would nullify the ending. If you know that there's a sequel, then you know, okay, Mackie's going to come back after him.
Yeah.
You know.
That's
true. I like it. I don't mind it. I'm not against it.
Yeah. I kind of want to see a continuation of the story. Like, I want to see, like, does Mackie win in the end? Does he get Davey?
But it's also, like, it's also that thing when it comes to sports, like, you either end on a high note, or you risk it, keep going, and then that second move you do isn't as great as the first, and it comes crumbling down.
I mean, they have time. Fucking take their time. Look, Halloween waited, 40 years to do a proper...
It's not just time, it's also funding.
Yeah, but
this movie didn't look like big budget.
No, dude, Netflix, I can't believe they didn't pick up this movie. I know it's from 2018. Fucking pick it up.
Dude, Netflix didn't pick up Cobra Kai at first.
I'm surprised some streaming service didn't. Anything. Hulu, fucking Netflix. They're starved for original content. Fucking feed it to them.
I don't know. You never know. You never know if, like, they didn't even shop it to, like, those networks, or if they were just like, we're just going to release it independently.
Well, I don't think 2018 the streaming wars were really that much on. Maybe they picked up in 2019 after Apple launched and Hulu got serious.
It just depends on who is funding the movie. Like, I mean, some people get private investors where they have to shop the movie to theaters and make that money back for the investor. But, I mean, you never know.
Okay, here's a question for you two, both of you two. Would you invest the money to do a sequel? Like, shoot, if you have $10 million and they say we need like $5 million to do the sequel for this movie, would you do it?
No. Are you crazy? I got $10 million. I'm going to keep the $10 million. I could live the rest of my life not knowing the sequel because the first one was just good. Just that great.
Secondly, this movie's not going to make like $100 million.
Yeah, but I know.
This isn't Saw. Unless you're going to build a franchise off of it, chances are it's not.
Well, I mean, like, okay, it's kind of like the law of returns with Halloween or Freddy. Like, in the 80s, slashers became a big deal because how cheap they were to make and the return. Like, even if you spent, like, $5 million on it and you only made $22 million, you more than quadrupled your initial investment. Like, that's why it was so popular. So even nowadays, you invest $5 million, and even if you only get back $12 million, hey, shoot, that's $12 million more than before you had that 5.
Only 6.
Well, that's 7 million more than you had
before.
before.
You go.
I mean, you could also say the argument, like, how many slasher films are you seeing in theaters? Or thriller films? Because, like, all horror movies now are basic paranormal stuff.
We're in a paranormal phase now.
What you said makes sense. I invest the $5 million and then I get like $7 million more. That's a great investment, but
it's a $2 million investment. I mean, $2 million profit. It's not bad.
But,
granted, it's not like we're walking around with $2 million.
I know, right? But the thing is, like, for slasher films, I feel like there's too many nowadays, and
I mean,
that's why they switched to paranormal stuff.
Well, because it's cheaper to make. It's easier to have an actor fake being possessed than it is to like dress up an actor to look evil. That makes sense.
True, I guess. I don't know. For this one, I like where it just leaves off. Like, I'd rather just leave off on a high note. the fact that Davey has to look over his shoulder the rest of his life, his friends just want nothing to do with him. It takes that whole bullshit ending of a happy ending and kind of just says like,
Kicks
no,
him
like
in.
this is this is probably what would really happen to this kid. Like if this guy did get away. And the dude that plays Mackie is pretty creepy. That's just the only thing I ever saw him in was The Office.
He was in another show where he was a bad guy. Yeah, he's been in a few things. It was obvious to me that he was evil. Like, he was not a good guy. But I was paranoid throughout the whole film. I'm like, there's no way it's this obvious.
He should have put a scar on his face.
God. On Davy's face?
On Davy's face.
Ooh, that'd be a good one. I mean, granted, he did cut his Achilles.
No, you can hide that crap.
Well, no, what if he has a limp for the rest of his life?
He was riding the bike at the end of the movie.
Which I thought was weird. I was like, how the fuck are you riding a bike with a torn Achilles heel?
I mean, dude, he's working. Well, it's probably like... that's good. That's a good point. I don't know how long it takes to heal from an Achilles.
Tendons
Edge-
take a long time to heal.
Edge, I remember reading the report of when Edge tore his Achilles. It was anywhere from 7 to 9 months. And his Achilles wasn't torn; it was slashed.
And it's also like the 2000s.
Yeah,
80s.
84.
In the 80s, if you got like an ACL tear, there goes your career, buddy.
you're done.
Like, so yeah, I mean, it is a little bit weird that he was just riding a bike. But hey, are we really nitpicking a fucking thriller right now?
It was still good. But yeah, I'm saying a scar on the face every time he looks in the mirror.
Dude,
Remember me.
I like his idea.
Like every time you look in the mirror, you're gonna be reminded.
Like right down the side of the face or
Yeah.
like across the cheek.
And then every time anyone in your town sees you, they're gonna be known as the guy that got his friend killed.
Yeah, the boy that got his friend killed.
Instead of being like, oh, the hero that
Man.
caught the guy. Nah,
For a solid 5 hours, he was known as the boy that caught the killer. And then after that, it's like, oh man, the one that got his friend murdered.
Were you expecting that Mackie was gonna end up being the killer after all? You know, even though like they kind of say like they pretty much say in the beginning, like this dude is the killer, but they're just like throwing like every distraction at you to think like he's not.
When they got the door open and it was like his bedroom when he was a kid, I was like, all right, he's the murderer. Because like the only way it would have made sense if they had opened that door and it was just like a tool shed or something. Then it's like, okay, it's not him for sure now. But when it was like, it's his room, yeah, no, it has to be him. Like, this is weird.
This dude's into some freaky shit.
Yeah, this guy's weird. Like, nah, nope. And I was really hoping it wasn't Mackie, man. I was hoping maybe it was Davy's dad or something. Like,
Nah, I think we all figured out it was Mackie when he put the
walkie.
the walkie on the window, like, caught you.
Well, no, maybe it was like, dude, I know what the fuck you're doing. Like, you think I'm the killer, have your fun, but it's not me. Like, let's get real for a minute here.
I don't think that's what that
Oh.
meant. I think he's just like, I know you're watching me and I'm going to kill you.
Well, no, also, actually, no, it was before that. It was when the phone numbers matched.
That's after.
That's after. No, they went.
No, that's after.
No, when they went down into the basement. They found the phone numbers matched, and then they went into the basement.
I'm confused. What are you talking about?
No, because you had just asked, at what moment did you realize it really was? Because the whole movie, I was hoping it wasn't Mackie. So you asked, when did you know it was for sure?
Yeah.
And it wasn't when they went to the basement. Now I remember. It's when he called the phone number, and it was the same one. Remember?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase. I meant to say, when do you think Davey knew it was Mackie? And for me, it was when Mackie catches him staring at him with the binoculars, when he's staring right back at him with binoculars, and then when Davey looks back again, the walkie's there in the window.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So that's what I meant. That's why I thought Davey knew that he was the killer.
Well, okay, let's throw back for a sec. If we were 14 years old, we kind of knew each other when we were all 14.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think we would have pursued it this hard?
You would have. We would have said, stop it.
Oof. Oh, man, I would have gotten one of y'all killed.
Nah, I'm pretty sure we would have handled ourselves better.
Well, especially because now we're in the early 2000s. We're all paranoid as fuck.
When we were 14,
we've seen Scream.
We were
And
huge.
we had cell phones.
That's true.
That's true.
We were 14. All of us were 14. All of us were huge for 14-year-olds.
Thanks for calling us fat, you.
You know what?
I mean, it's not wrong, we all
maybe
were.
you. I was like super muscular when I was 14.
And now?
Well, I'm less muscular, but still muscular.
Hey, Shu, could you beat the shit out of 14-year-old you?
Oh, hell yeah. The hell? Shit.
14-year-old you was in your prime. When was your prime, Shu? Was it 14 or 16?
I don't know.
Oh, this is depressing.
I don't know when my Prime was. I think my Prime's still to come.
Like, that's a good thought.
Yeah, I like how positive you are.
Yeah. What, you want me to be depressed? Jesus. Horrible friend over there. Yeah, it's like, you're at your Prime at 16 now. You have nothing to look forward to.
Way to go, Eddie.
Yeah, Jesus, I don't think like that, Eddie. Do you?
No, the best is still yet to come.
Oh, man.
He says as he drinks his, like, third Monster of the week.
Oh, yeah, your Prime's not until you're like 40.
No, isn't like Ferny? Didn't you say it's in your
As
early 30s?
Yeah,
30s?
Your physical prime is in your early 30s.
Really? I always thought it was in like your mid 20s.
No, your early 30s when everything is firing on point.
Because assuming you're taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
See, when I hit 30, get all my 6-pack back, maybe some 8-packs and obliques on the side.
When did you ever have a 4-pack?
If only we could add a laugh track to this.
I can find a way. Look, all right, Eddie, add laugh track now. All right, there it was. I added it. I'll do it in post.
Okay.
It's gonna be so bad.
It probably will be.
No, I mean, and as the thriller, do I think this is as good as Silence of the Lambs?
Mm-hmm.
I'd say it's like a shade under it.
Is it? How rewatchable is it to you two? Like, would you rewatch it on like a random Tuesday? You got nothing to do. It's like 10 o'clock at night. You want to watch a movie?
Would you rewatch it?
I would rewatch it, but I think
like, how often do you think like this movie like just pops in your head and you're like, man, I feel like watching this movie?
Oh, it would probably be on the lower side, but it was still something I would rewatch. Before we watched this movie, we talked like Bloodshot.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I'll ever rewatch that movie.
I've never seen it, and I don't plan on it. I could have told you it looked bad just from the trailer.
I will never rewatch that movie ever again.
It's a Vin Diesel movie. That's why it's bad. His only good movies are Fast and Furious. That's because he has a team to carry
I
him.
like
And all
the
special
Riddick
effects.
movies.
Huh?
I liked the Riddick movies.
Really?
Yeah, the first one and then the second one. The third one was just like a repeat of the first one.
Didn't they have a fourth one?
Third.
Oh, they've only had 3? Oh, I thought they had 4.
Nope.
Fair. Did one of them have Batista in it?
Third one.
The third one.
Did they have a fight?
No, I can't remember.
No,
But
really.
back to the movie. Stop.
Okay, fine. Okay, going back to Summer of '84. So, Shu, you said you would probably rewatch it, but you're not going to be thinking about it. Fernie, you?
If I had to give it like a scale, like 1 to 5, say 3.5.
Not bad. Shu? Scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10, A to B, C, D?
Let's go 1 to 5. Don't confuse them. He's dyslexic.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
that's mean.
I think 3.5 is a fair answer.
I think it's a fun movie to show people.
Yeah.
Like that for me. That's probably one of the best things about a rewatchable movie is that you're just like, I have to show this to you.
I want to give it a 4.
Wow, and that's because you were like, the trailer sucks.
Yeah, no, I thought the trailer was shitty, but no, like, the quality of this film is really good. Like, if it was made on such a low budget, like, this is on par with Halloween as far as, like, wow, they really under-promised and overachieved.
Which Halloween? The new one?
No, the first one.
Oh.
Because the first one was made for, like, what, $300,000? And, like, no one expected it to be good, but somehow it ended up being amazing. Like, what's the phrase? Under-promising and over-delivering?
I guess that's a phrase. I've never used that phrase.
I know I've heard it in wrestling, but yeah, pretty much. That's what this film was to me. The trailer made me not want to watch it. So when you suggested, I was like, fine. If I'm with the guys, I can stand it. And then we started, and I'm like,
dude, I don't get your recipe, man. Like, you like a bunch of weird movies, and then like a good movie pops up. You're like, the trailer's not that great.
Well, again, because like you were like, hey, this movie's good, and I saw the trailer. Maybe the trailer I saw was like a shitty one from like early on, I guess. Like, the trailer just didn't make it.
Did it have the kid saying, like, guys, we got it all wrong? The part where he's at the festival and he's telling them, like, we got it all wrong. Mackie had all the dirt for that project. Mm-hmm. Did it have that part in the trailer?
I don't think so. The trailer I saw was only like 57 seconds long, a minute long. Maybe.
I think mine was like a minute some.
Maybe that was it. I don't know. Maybe I saw a different trailer than you. It made me not want to watch it. Because I had seen it when you bought it on Vudu. I could see it. And I was like, I don't feel like it.
This guy, it's there to watch, and you're just like, You don't have to pay anything.
Yeah, I'd rather watch Creed or Creed 2. I rewatched both of those in the same night. They were so amazing.
Creed 2 is okay if you like. It's only good if you like the cheesiness of Rocky, which I like. But the first time I saw it, I was just like, whew.
Okay, that's a discussion for another time. Then we'll talk about Creed 1 and 2.
I liked Creed 2. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But the first time I saw it, I was just like,
I liked it though because I could understand the fact that he wants, like he went into a dark place that only he could dig himself out of. Like he was like really depressed.
man, we really need to stop going off all these tangents of random movies.
Fuck it, it's part of the podcast. Fucking, you think people come to listen to us talk about one specific movie at all times? No, you get rambling motherfucking rabbit.
I don't know why people come to listen to us.
Us?
Yeah, what the fuck you mean us? This is your
that's
first
right.
technical podcast.
This is my first podcast with you. I don't know why people come and listen to you guys.
I don't know.
It's because we're funny sometimes.
No, I'm funny.
I'm hilarious.
Yeah.
He said he's hilarious.
Shut the fuck up.
Harris.
I don't know. So, any other thoughts? Like, Shu, Ferny, you guys have any other thoughts?
No, I don't got any other thoughts.
No, I mean, we covered it. I like the cast. You like the cast?
I like the cast.
I like the cast.
I like the plot. You like the plot?
I like the plot.
I like the plot too.
You like the endings?
I like the endings.
Oh, the ending was depressing. It was pretty good.
See? We covered everything. Covered all the bases.
All right. Well, one last question. Do you want there? As of right now, it's not announced. Let's pretend like they never answered the question. Would you want a sequel?
Would I want a sequel?
Yeah.
Sure, I'm always for a good movie.
All right.
But do I need a sequel? Nah.
Sure.
No, I don't think I want a sequel. I think it's fine the way it is.
I kind of want one just to see like what happens next.
I
It's
mean,
like with anything. You want to see what happens next.
yeah. I mean, it's your opinion. It's not a bad opinion.
Can't believe I got one of y'all killed.
And that's not surprising. And that is the end of the show, everybody. Thank you for joining us here at the Rollback. We could not appreciate you more. I am very happy to do this podcast with two of the people that I've known for the longest. So please come back for more. Chances are we will be together again soon. Like I said, follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. No, we don't have Instagram yet. We should probably work on that. Follow us on Facebook, on Spotify, iTunes, Google. We put out episodes every week. And that's pretty much the end of the show, everybody. This is Fernando from the Rollback. Cut it.